Yeah, hello, this is Dave from cheapbooks.com playing World of Tanks. The tank is the M41 Bulldog, also known as the M41 Walker Bulldog. It's a Tier 7 American light tank, and the map is Malinovka. This is going to be a spotting mission. I'm working on LT-15, the Aggressive Recon Specialist. I have to do 5,000 hit points of damage. This was not... I did not get the 5,000, but I did come close. In fact, I think I spotted 14 tanks in this game, which was more than... I don't think I've ever spotted 15 tanks, but I think 14 is my record. So you can see that the bush that I chose is right here, and I need to pause it because it's very important. There is another bush here, and then there's obviously the ones that are further back. This one will get you a lot more spotting done, and of course anything that's further out here. However, it's very dangerous. Number one, the enemy is going to come to this ridge right over here, and if they get there first, they're going to see you. And it happens to me all the time. I get spotted all the time coming up to this bush over here. So make sure that when you leave your base that you can get here in time, depending on how fast your tank is, how fast they are, and who's closest to the destination you want to get to. Number two, you don't want to take the route that seems obvious. The obvious route would be that you would come up through here, up to the left of where I am, and head for that bush. You don't want to do that. Whenever I would do that, I would fail. Tanks usually head out on the far side immediately. It used to be a year and a half ago that tanks would rarely go out, like maybe 50% of the time they would take that road, and they would wait till halfway through the game before they would do it. But now it happens absolutely immediately. So if you head for that bush using the wrong angle, you will get spotted. And there's many times where I get spotted, I have to back up, I have to hide for a moment, become unspotted, go back in, and you lose, especially if there's somebody over here, and then their spotters are going to come looking for you, and whoever's over here is going to be someone you have to deal with, and you have to go back and hide and retreat and find a worse position. So when I come in, I'm not going to come in for the route which is right on the left. Like right here we've got my tank in the center. You don't want to be more over here on the left. You want to be either where my tank is or a little bit more to the right even when you make the approach for these bushes. Oh yeah, that one. I remember that. Okay, so watch the magic. I spotted 14 tanks in this game. I don't think I spotted all 14 at the beginning. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 already. Oh, there's a 9th one. I think I spotted one later in the game when I went up to the hill. Okay, so there's 10. Looks like 11. Now, if your allies don't shoot at those tanks, you don't get the damage. And I needed 5,000. I don't think I got 5,000. I think I got a little bit under 5,000. Probably closer to 3,800 or something like that. But this is one of the best bushes to do it in. And it's not the only bush. There's other bushes that you can hide in to complete the mission. The other thing you have to be aware of is that there's a tank over here, the KV-4. He's got 1,600 hit points. He's going to head all the way out, I'm pretty sure, to the other side. And I'm going to be watching him, and my allies are going to be hitting him. But in the end, out of that 1,600 hit points, I only got like 150. Because once the other allies are in spotting range, you share the spotting damage. So you really want your allies to hit these guys hard as quickly as possible. I got that 45. And I know I'm going to get a little bit more. But it's like I said, when I watched them, when I looked at the report afterwards, I did not get 1,600 for the KV-4. It looks like there's 2 KV-4s, so it's possible that I made a mistake. Maybe I got damage with one and not the other. I don't know. Okay, so this is as I watch during the game. When I'm playing the game, I'm usually monitoring the situation. I'm checking out the targets, pointing my gun at somebody, because if I get spotted, I have to run, but I also want to shoot at them while I'm running. So that's why I pick targets that I might want to shoot at. Now we're getting to the point where the spotting damage that's being done on those tanks, I'm not getting any of that credit, unfortunately. Or I'm getting a very small share. And I did not know it at the time. Those KV-4s are tough tanks. They have, you know, on paper their armor doesn't look that good, but for some reason, a lot of shots don't penetrate them. One of the other issues when you're trying to get the highest amount of spotting damage, you want to be in a high tier game. This is a tier 8, tier 7, and tier 8 game, so the spotting damage is going to be lower. You want to try to do it with a higher tier tank. And I like the Walker Bulldog, but I really am looking forward to getting the tank that comes after it, which I believe is a T-49. Now, the score is 7-1. Absolutely, the work that I did produced most of those tanks to die. I did a lot of good work for the team. We killed a lot of tanks because of this method. If I weren't here, the score would not be 7-1. It would be like 1-1. But the point that I'm going to make is, if you look in the upper right-hand corner, you count 3 tanks. Looks like 3 heavy tanks. And then you got 2 SPGs. That means there's 3 tanks left, one of whom is behind this rock and has low hit points. So there's really only 2 other tanks. And when the score gets to be around this point, not 7-1, but let's say there's 7, 8, or 9 kills, my entire team, all those guys back there, they could probably roll right across this field here without opposition. So at some point, with the score 7-1, counting the tanks that are up in the corner, knowing how many SPGs there are, knowing how much damage is done to one of those tanks, now I'm at the point where I could probably advance and run around and shoot at some tanks or spot some more from a different position. So I'm probably not going to be around here for long. You know, obviously you can see that some of my allies have already run across the field. There they are. And there's a comet over there. And so finally I've decided to also advance, because when my allies advance, they're going to take away any spotting damage that I could have done. Now, if you're working on this mission,
target acquired.
This particular mission allows you to also take in any damage that you do. So if I hit these tanks, it credits it for mission LT-15. Oh, I guess not. There's other ones that do. This one has to be spotting or destroying the track. But there's some missions where you can add on any damage that you do during the game.
We didn't even scratch them.
Now you'll notice that this is the way as I played the game. I'm using the auto-aim feature, and the auto-aim is locked on to this charioteer, and there's people who say, don't ever use auto-aim, and they make stupid comments like, oh, my eyes hurt to see you use auto-aim. You know, don't listen to stupid people who say things like that. This is the way I'm playing the game. I am driving towards the SPGs while I'm shooting at that other tank who's got thin armor, who I'm clearly going to do damage to. So you can't do that in sharpshooter mode. So I use the auto aim so I can look for my next target. I'm already looking for my next target. Shoot at the previous target. I don't need to see this tank to shoot at him. All I need is the auto aim, hold my finger down on the button, and drive away, and after a while he'll be dead. And I do pay attention. For example, when I go over the slope of the hill, you might see me go like this occasionally to see how he's doing. But that's the technique that I use. I'm going to show you as I played it out. So it's like I said, don't listen to people who say don't use auto aim. They don't know any better. So over here I'm going to spot the tank. For some reason the audio disappeared.
Ready to fire.
Okay, use the auto aim, but I'm also driving away looking for that next tank.
We didn't even scratch them.
And
Target unlocked.
and
Target acquired.
I decided
Ammo
to
storage is hit. We're lucky it didn't blow.
I
Penetration.
decided to switch targets. I was like, oh, SPG, low hit points. I'm going to kill him. Had to repair my ammo. This one was a problem. I think he might have even killed me.
Enemy is hit.
Like
Target
that,
immobilized.
he put me in a real dangerous situation right here.
Enemy armor is destroyed. Target acquired.
So you can
Didn't penetrate their armor.
see that this was a big problem.
Track fix. We're done for. Everyone get out.
Yeah, so that was a very dangerous situation. I did not have to do that. He was apparently complaining that I was using high explosive rounds, and he called me a loser. I don't know what type of rounds I was using. No, I was using the gold
Target
rounds.
acquired. That one didn't go through.
So I was using the premium rounds. I don't know if it's a heat round or not. It probably is, because he's probably running some sort of a mod that tells him what type of ammunition I hit him with. And, hey, I got no problem with it. If I'm doing a mission and I'm close to completing it, I'm going to use the best rounds that I have. I only have a few of them. At some point in the game, I must have switched rounds, or maybe I started with the premium rounds. But any edge you can get, I'll use them when it's appropriate, especially if I'm in a lower tier. Other people don't have to like it. I don't care. I'm not going to stop doing it because somebody doesn't like it.
Get going. We're done for. Everyone
Okay.
get out.
So that was the game. I got 1 kill. You can look in the title as to how much damage I did with spotting damage. Again, it was around 3,500, I think. Or maybe 4,000. I had to do 5,000 for the mission. The mission is LT-15. You can see at the bottom it says at least 5,000 hit points. And that is the bush as of today. Today is July 20th, 2015. They do move things around, so that bush might not be there in the future. But that's one of the bushes that you want to use. If you look at the G3 area, you'll see that there's a tank destroyer. That's another bush that you can use. Some people think you can only use it if you're on the northwest team, but you can play it from the southeast team also. You can go to that same bush, but you got to get there fast. And I've got some videos that show how to do it. Okay, so that's the game. If you have any questions or comments, please post below.